Happy release day! Today we got Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid for Japan and Bang Dream Premium Booster Box for English. And real quick to sum up this video, is it worth it to actually open any of these? Well, Miss Kobayashi's booster box, not really. I would say the trial deck seems pretty good, and Bang Dream, I hope you're a collector of this stuff because it's not something that I think you'd make a ton of money off of if that's what you're looking for. So with that, let's just go into Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid and what we have here. So yesterday I made a video talking about the rarities because it actually freaked me out, like how many rarities there were. And I'll tell you that like the real what actually happened. I saw that on Facebook that the card list is out. I forgot about it the entire day. I was emailing someone back and forth about um, Bang Dream, and then that night, it was like 11 o'clock at night, I sat there just looking at the cards and realizing that the rarities are like out of whack, totally, completely wrong. With how many they are showing up into these boxes inside of the trial deck and the booster box itself. So when I took a look at this, when I showed you all those duplicates, the thing that stood out to me is these MDRs. And we have OFRs. There's no SPs, there's only SSPs. So that's not what I would have wanted to see. And what I'm going to show you is what happens here with Danmachi. So what you can see is we have SPs, triple rares, there's 8 of them, and super rares, there's 20. Right? So that is far from the 50 that you saw with Miss Kobayashi. With Zombieland Saga, we got 7 super special rares, so SSPs. We got 7 SPs, 7 triple rares, and 15 SRs. And that's where I was going with it. I'm like, this is not a good trend of what's actually happening. Like, if you look at the more recent ones, I mean, these are recent, right? This thing came out in November. Danmachi came out in November. We're only in April, and they are ramping up the amount of actual foils that are in these booster boxes inside the trial deck, which means it kind of dilutes the value of the actual cards. You might not get as many of them like in the SSP slot, but at the same time, if this is not what we want, if you don't want an Overframe rare, and if you don't want a Maid Dragon rare, then you're kind of killing the value of the box, and that's what I was getting at. It's not very good, and you'll see. Well, so what I decided to do today was take a look at UUT, the opening day prices, and see what we got. Before I do that, just so you know, I got this from The Real Deal. So The Real Deal is writing some of his comments back to that video. So again, really what's going on here is MDRs are your replacements to SRs and triple rares. OFRs are the new SPs for this box, and SSP is SSP, and that's what I was getting at. It's the sheer volume of it, and at the same time, an OFR does not equal an SP in our traditional sense of what we think of as an SP, a sign card. So that is not why, this is not what I want to see, and hopefully this isn't going to be a trend that continues on. And with the trial deck, it's just got even uglier, right? So what we got here is UUT. This is actually pretty nice because normally I go, well, you can't really use these. There's a doubling effect with English and all this stuff when it comes to prices. But this time around, this is actually in Japanese, so I can actually use these prices, which is pretty sweet. You just have to do English USD, yen to USD conversions if you want to do it that way. But this is actually pretty nice because the number is the number right here. And normally people go 10% off UUT. So anyways, we have SSPs. And I'm going to bring up my good old friendly Excel sheet, which I've had you all love at this point. What I did was I didn't write any of the names, I just did the numbers here. What I've heard so far, and again, if this is wrong, then you can use the numbers that are sitting right here to actually calculate the EV of the box, right? So this is the nice part about this, even like we're getting more and more information. What I've seen so far at this point is a case of, or a carton, whatever you want to call it. So inside of this, let me just go back here for new people, right here. So inside of a big brown box, I'm gonna say big brown box, you can call it a case, you could call it a carton. It's right here on this page. There are 18 booster boxes inside of there, right? You get 16 packs and 16 packs inside a box, 9 cards in a pack. So we are all caught up. So basically, what I heard was inside of a brown box of 18 booster boxes, you will get one SSP. You will get two OFRs. So again, that would normally have been your SPs, and they took their slots. These MDRs, as the real deal has said, MDRs are your triple rares and your SRs, and you will get 2 per box is what I've been seeing, right? 2 per box. And which double rares, normally it's 4 to 5, but in this calculation, I use 5. I just gave it the benefit of the doubt. I'm just going, let's just say it's 5. Let's say you get these 2 here. Just make it easy on all of us. And then there's PR cards, there's rares, uncommons, and all that. And I don't add those rares, uncommons, and all that because when I took a look at them, there's nothing that was like super expensive when it came to rares and uncommons and all that. So I kind of consider them bulk, with especially with what I imagine is going to be open for this. So I didn't add those numbers, and if you wanted to add them in, then feel free. But I am not doing that at this point. As you can see here, I'm gonna just make these pictures bigger as I go. Our biggest one here would then be Toru, 24,800. 3 of them left, and the main thing to watch out for is the quantity, as we know. Obviously, if it's going to sell out, or like this one, this is 1, or if it's 0, like if there's none available, then the price is probably higher. If there's a whole lot of them, let's say there's 10 of these Torus, I know it says 3, but if it actually said 10 or something like that, and they had it for 24,800, then maybe you discount that a little bit because that's a little bit too high for the quantity. But what we got going on here is average 20,000. I'm like, see how I should even say this because it's like 208, so 20,800 yen. And the conversion, just so you know, at this point is we have, let me do one. Poop. I was doing this before. That's what it equals out to, like roughly 81. 81. 1 yen is 0.0081 of a dollar. So there you go. If you want to crunch the numbers, so let's just say 2,800 is actually $167.48. Okay, but that's what it is. So roughly, I say average is 208. If you really wanted to do like this whole EV thing, what I did was you take this number, divide it by 18. There's 1 per case. You could go that route. I have 2 totals at the very end. OFRs, see what your big OFR is. Remember, when you look out for OFRs, so everybody knows this, because I know some people are newer yet and still don't know this, but there are booster box OFRs and trial deck OFRs, and how you can tell that is right here in the serial number. You see this T, the T means trial deck, so you'll find this in the trial deck. So obviously, as part of this booster box calculation, I remove the actual trial deck ones. All you see here is your booster box one, so the big one right there. Nice looking card. So what I will say is, obviously, since I don't follow Japan, and since I literally said that I looked at this 2 nights ago at 11 p.m. at 11 p.m. at night, that I have no idea about any of these cards, if they were good or not. I just haven't had the time, and I don't normally watch Japanese releases, but this time I made it an exception just because of the amount of rarities and how many people are looking to buy this. Okay, so 69.80. I mean, like when you look at the OFRs, they're pretty expensive. Overall, they look pretty expensive. But then, like, think about it again. This is a replacement for an SP. Would an SP be this low? Some of these, like 29.80, 34.80, that seems really low when I think about like SPs. So, and then we have, MDRs. We have MDRs, and I think I expressed my not so niceness about MDRs and OFRs actually. I mean, MDRs, I get it. It is your replacement to SRs and triple rares. My big thing about it, again, is really the fact that there's so freaking many of them. There's so many of them, which in the end, if you're trying to collect a set, let's say you're trying to get a master set of these, that's 50 of them versus like other sets where there's only like 20, 30 of them. They're definitely ramping up. Like this whole collectors in Weiss Schwarz. You could tell because how they pitched us the Bang Dream Premium booster box in English. I think they're really trying to be like, okay, if this is what people want, we know people play this game, but now we know a ton of people are coming in to collect these cards because they look beautiful and all that. So I think they're really, really ramping it up, and I think that's what's happening here. And that's why I said I don't like this trend. They're definitely going hard on pushing this out for collectors and all of this. So you can see here, I just captured all of these. What's your biggest one? 1980? 1980, which would be Miss Kobayashi and Toru. So let me just bring that out, get a bigger picture of it. There we go. And the nice part about this one was it is actually different. I thought the original was red or orange or something, like a background. This one's blue. This one's actually blue looking. So nice part about that is it's a little bit different. It's your big one. I'm going to assume right now that it's probably a playable card. It should make sense that in that way because it's one of the ones where it's like it's either the art is what sells or the playableness of the card. So just by looking at the art, I'm like, probably makes sense that it's playable. Okay, so overall, you get 2 per box is what I'm hearing. Overall, 820 yen is what we're looking at. But there are some interesting art like when it comes to these MDR. But with the MDR again, there's some that match the actual art. So if you don't necessarily need to have the foily version, then you don't really need to buy that. But there are some different ones. I thought this one right here, this lady, Luokoa. I thought there was like one where oh, there it is, right down here. There's where she got the torn shirt, 1280. So again, that was part of my if it's not the actual art, maybe it's playable. But the knockout is when they're both, and you can see this one actually sold out. So this one's gone. Like people know what they want, and torn up shirt and I guess pantyhose, something like that is what people are looking for. So there we go. Okay. Double rares again. What I did here was 4 to 5 per box. I went with 5 just to be on the higher side. If it's always going to be 4, then subtract the 634 out of it. We got 3170, and we also got PRs. I put them in here just to see, and really it's not much of a difference. 125. There is one other PR that I want to point out, and it's not out here. I don't know how you get it. Maybe there's a tournament or something. They have this one, 2480. It has an S on it, which means it's a shiny version of a card. Again, I don't know how it is. I haven't looked too much into it. Just know that this is out there somewhere, and it's 2480. And I'm having a guess that I feel like it's Torn Shirt Girl. Nope. Oh, it's like these torn up. No, I don't know. I don't know what this. See, so I saw torn up shirt, torn up, whatever. Something to do with that. What is this one? Well, whatever the case, it's not there, and it's pretty expensive. So I don't know what's actually happening in that PR. So if you know, just let me know down below. In the end, what we end up with is EV. So if you like doing the whole divide the SSP divided by 18 and the OFRs since there's 2 in a case, divide by 9. We come out with 5747.50, and again, that does not include the rares and commons, all that stuff, climaxes. I didn't put them in because I felt they were bulk. I know people are looking at these numbers. You're really looking to just know like how much it is to open it, or you're looking to resell, and that's why I'm using these bigger actual numbers. PR probably you could subtract out of that as well. If you don't like that, if you don't like including SSPs and OFRs, then really you're looking at 4115, which is not very good. And that's why I said before about like the whole, I don't feel like it's worth opening. So 3313, and I know people are selling boxes, and like at this point it looks like near to over $70, because I thought I saw some at 67 yesterday. I definitely saw some at 75. I saw it on Facebook for 75, so that's what I'm saying. Like it's not good. If you do not pull the higher end cards, obviously you're pretty much screwed. And being that these are prices from UUT, when people go to sell it on Facebook or anywhere, they go UUT minus 10%. So um, I'm going to assume that they do the conversion and then subtract 10% off of there. And that's not going to be looking very good. So for me, booster box definitely not worth opening. But again, if you're a fan, that's only in the side of like if you want to sell these things or just want to know how much it's worth to open or just buy single cards. To me, it looks like it's not worth opening unless all you're doing is buying the higher end cards, right? If you're looking at buying higher end cards, it might be worth it to open, but on average, definitely not worth it. Trial deck though. Trial deck is one of those ones where, let me go here. Trial deck. Did not have that up. Trial deck was a beast. It looks pretty awful when you add in all the different stuff that's inside of it, right? So we got 16 triple rares, we got 2 OFRs, and 1 SSP. What is the actual talk of the town is trial deck SSP. It's SSP is 1 per case. And what happened there was the OFR, which is what I did not want to see, seems like it took the place of an another sign card, right? So in this case, SSP. What we got then is 1 SSP and 1 OFR in it, and that's where I said it's like, would you really want to have these OFRs if that meant removing one of the higher end cards, an SP or an SSP? To me, no. Like you can just look at the number right here, right? The big one is going to be, and screw it. I'm just gonna bring this up. So SSP, huge one. We got Toru in the lewd, in the pull side. 998. That's what we're looking at here. It's pretty insane. 1 left. I know people are definitely looking out for it. There's Facebook, Reddit. People definitely want this card. Your trial deck is going to be definitely sought after. And that's not even it, right? So trial deck has OFRs, which would be these two. 6980, 4980, this one sold out. All the triple rares belong to the trial deck. So as you can see here, there is some okay ones, right? Like we have Luokoa here, and we have this nice actual beach scene. Let me move my head. Beach scene right there. So there are some decently priced ones, and not to mention, you always are guaranteed. Where's my SR? I skipped her. There's SR, 400 yen. You will get 1 per trial deck, and you get trial deck cards. Which, by the way, if you don't pull the fancy foily SSP, there is this version right here that you get inside of it. And right now, it's sitting at 500 yen. If this thing never comes out for English, I can imagine these things will definitely be sought after for future years to come, I would imagine. So you definitely have some good ones, right? So you have the non-shiny version of the SR card. You have the non-shiny version of the SSP. And look at her. Oh, look at Toru. And they're pretty expensive. So overall, without even going into too much of this, really, trial deck, I didn't even bother adding in this all up. Totally worth opening. As in, if you're a fan, I think owning one of these trial decks is pretty cool. Like if you're not going to play with this, I think there's good value to be had here. Every deck comes with, at the very least, 1 foil. So it's going to be either the triple rare, the OFR, or the SSP. But again, 1 per case for the SSP, 1 per case for the OFR. Triple rare, you're going to see that 46 out of 48 times. And then your SR will always be in there, so 400. Trial deck cards, like I said, if you don't get the SSP, more than likely there should be 2 of these in here. I didn't count them up, but I'm assuming the SR version, you're going to actually delete that. You're going to get the SR version, you're going to get the regular version, so 400, and then just her at the pull. I mean, shoot, you can't have the foil one, at least you have this card, and they're at 500. Again, you can discount them down, but overall, I think the trial deck, if you're going to buy something, don't have a ton of money to spend, then this is pretty good. Maybe pick up some singles from the booster boxes and you're living. But trial deck, trial deck for Miss Kobayashi and booster box iffy. That's for me. Me personally, if I really wanted the set, I would probably buy one booster box or two booster boxes, and a whole bunch of trial decks is what I would have done or what I did. I'll tell you that's what I did. That's honestly what I did because I don't know if this is coming out for English. Honestly, I have no idea with the art that's in here and all of that. I don't know if it's coming out for English, so I made sure I got some trial decks. Um, and with the booster box, definitely not a whole lot of them. Not a whole lot. With Bang Dream on the English side. So we have English side, Bang Dream coming out. Let me just get to that site. Ian, does this work? Yes, it does. Okay. Okay, what we have here is Bang Dream Premium Booster Box, and this is something that I said hopefully people looked it up before they bought this because it is not going to be something that you are going to be flipping or anything like that. Do not think that that's going to actually be a thing. Premium Booster Box is out. You can see market high to low. Um, you get one of these cards, like these SRs, you get one of every person. So there are 70 cards, right? Yep, 70 cards. So once you open one of these boxes right here, this box that's $77.96, you open one of these boxes, you go get all the girls. It's just how badly do you want the actual foil version, this BDR that has no signature, that just is fancier looking and all that. I can't, there's only like two situations where I see anybody buying this when it comes to actually like buying singles. It's like if they want just a certain band, they're going to do that, or they're missing like some of these BDRs. Like if they open five, let's say you bought five of these things and you got four out of the five girls for the one band that you want. That's when I could see you buy the BDR. Outside of that, I can't imagine this doing anything. Again, Bang Dream fan, I love Bang Dream, but at the same time, like if you look at these right here, if you see what's going on here with the January release, and this thing looks it still looks ugly, right? There's no one has bought any of these sign cards outside of Tsukushi on TCG Player. Facebook, yeah, it's definitely sold a little bit, but it's not like a mountain of these are selling, and you can definitely tell that there's a huge lack of interest. So to say that this premium booster box is going to be anything different, I can't see how that is ever going to happen. It's going to be bad. I don't mean to laugh. I'm just saying like if there is, I haven't heard anybody say like you need to buy this because it's amazing. But if you hear that, then I would definitely say then you might want to research more into Bang Dream, because again, you can find Bang Dream older stuff still today. With the rush of collectors and investors and all that happened last year, you can actually still find Bang Dream sealed product like out there, especially with everything that happened. Like, like Mob Psycho, Batman, Ninja, all that stuff got bought up. Like people were making fun of it, but it got bought up, and it went up in price. You could still find like Rosalia trial decks for $20 or something like that. It's pretty insane when you think about everything that happened with the collector rush that Bang Dream really hasn't done much, and you could see it reflect. That's why I'm watching this one, just to see what happens, because what I said before was stores that refuse to sell this January product, I have seen are selling this premium box. So that would lead me to believe that they think there is more collectors, people that want this or love Bang Dream that just want the flashy foils out there than they were actual players. And we'll find out. We'll find out what happens. Maybe my logic is flawed, what I just said there, but I think that's where it makes sense to me. Like if they refuse to buy a highly playable set, has some nice cards in it, and decided to sell collector boxes, why would it make any difference? In my logic. So I think in my thinking here that sounds right to me. That that's what they believe, and we will find out for sure. For me, I've said it. if you're a collector, buy this thing. If you love it, buy this thing. I know I did because I like Bang Dream. But if you're looking to flip this thing, I would tell you buy other stuff. If you haven't bought it yet and you're not a fan of Bang Dream, could care less about Bang Dream, don't do it. I mean, and obviously I can be wrong. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Do what you feel like. But from everything I see, there's definitely other risk or other places you probably put your money first than going for Bang Dream. All right, with that, I will see you all later if you are going to be joining myself for the actual conference tonight. Where is my here? So conference is happening tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, and I hopefully will have two guests joining me tonight. So I won't say their name just in case they don't show up, but it should be a lot of fun. And as always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside of your budget. Have a good one.